All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are continuing our weed sector technical analysis video looking at three stocks here, OGI, Hexo, and MSOS. Look, I don't know if you saw the last two videos or not, but this is now the fifth stock I'm reviewing, and all of them are trading under all five moving averages, are either on or just under a support line, and I generally believe that sectors move together. I don't care if it's this weed sector, I don't care if it's the AI, EV, whatever it is. I think maybe pharmaceutical is kind of the only one because there's like FDA things that have to happen, right? And things go crazy. But yeah, if one weed stock does really poorly, generally you can expect the rest probably are too. And as you look at that second one, the third one, the fourth one, now, like I said, the fifth one, when they're all looking the same and all looking bad, you need to you know expect reality to be reality, right? I don't know how else to say it, right? So I'm definitely coming into this video just pretty pessimistic after, like I said, making the last two and seeing four out of the five. I'll look at them individually like I do, but yeah, there's a lot to be worried about on this sector right now, okay? That said, before getting into the technicals themselves, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our five moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms, but even if you don't, just thank you so much for watching these, okay? And then if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments, all right? I am not a hater. I am not here pretending I'm better or anything like that. If your opinions are good and they're better than mine, I promise you I want to hear them, you know what I mean? So hopefully this is a two-way street here, okay? All that said, let's get into it. And look, again, on the last video, I'm going to just call it out real quick. I'm really disappointed to see how this actually played out because one of the things I talked about was how low this RSI was. This thing's a 5, right? Super small single digit across 3 days. There should have been some sort of bounce up, right? I generally say RSI around 30 is too low. You gotta believe I'm looking at a 5 and wondering how low is it, right? So the recovery made sense, but look how minimal it was, right? It was pretty much one day. I guess it does cover a good amount of that red right there. So maybe in perspective as I'm saying this, like, yeah, I guess we did cover 4 of the 5. All right. But yeah, again, this is all you really should have expected, right? And I gotta believe it's what I said on the video. Can't imagine we're gonna get over the 8, right? We'll make a good little run to it, but unless we get confirmation the next day, you got to believe we're going back under, right? And hey, if we got confirmation, I didn't think we were going over those two lines, right? But what happened is obviously what we see. We are now clearly under the 8. We're clearly going away from the 8, right? It's kind of another one of these, right? You go away from it, you come close to it, and then you either beat it or, you keep going down. And this is telling me we're going to keep going down. This is probably the first stock that doesn't have a popping up RSI, which is really funny because all the other 4, again, this is the 5th one that I'm now looking at, they've all had a decent RSI, but again, everything else looked ugly, and I've kind of disregarded them anyways. But just, it's funny that this one doesn't. But yeah, that's a bad MACD, definitely in the negative. Green still wants to go down. I'm seeing a good distance between the two lines, right? They were coming close, but now let's go back away from each other. Ugly volume except for these 3 days right here. Sorry to laugh. That's inappropriate, right? This is a very serious technical analysis video. I'm gonna go away from the daily. This is an ugly weekly, all right? You do not want your weekly this far under the 8 and the 20, right? If your weekly is bad, your daily is going to be 5 times as bad, right? So yeah, that little string of green, obviously not. That string of red looks small, but yeah, that thing zoomed out is pretty much most of that, I think, right? I think I went too far. I think maybe it's most of that. Yeah, I think so, right? Yeah, through January. Yeah, it's that. It didn't hit this. Interesting. Okay. Nonetheless, it's all that. Okay. You get it. 5-1. That was poor on my side. Whatever. Again, lots of bad coming in. Look, I know I called this out on Sandal, SNDL. I don't like calling it Sandal. I don't like calling it SNDL. So look, On the weekly, we were averaging between Monday and Friday 30 million, right? 30 million. All of a sudden, we drop pretty drastically to only averaging a little more than 10. We've lost 66% of our volume in a matter of 6 months, give or take, right? From June to basically today, right? A little more than six. That's bad, right? And you know my golden rules of trading. If you watch that video, volume is king. And if people aren't putting money into the stock, regardless if they're buying or selling, but like if no one's even putting money into this, there's not much it's going to do but go down. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's definitely a lot to be worried about. What happens after 70? Are we at all-time lows, or is there it's a pretty hard fall down for sure. I'm sure we'll make a line right there somewhere, but again, look how close that is. It's basically 70, 60, 50, and then red turns to green, 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 green. You lose 50 and you're gonna red pretty quick down to 20. All right, so be careful on OGI. Okay, Hexo, let's come to the daily. All right, so what did I very much was skeptical on this stock, okay? There was a lot of just up and down and good day, no confirmation, good day, no confirmation, good day, no confirmation. What's super sad is we finally got the good day and confirmation after. It actually got over that little day right there too, because that's a key line. I obviously didn't draw it, but you should see it. And then it just dies after. That's super, super sad, right? And again, I say in these videos often, like technical analysis is not guaranteed, right? I'm oil stocks is something I've mentioned it so much louder because oil just has not been moving as I would technically be expecting. Like I'm not looking or making those oil films as much as I used to. And because of things like this, you get a good break, you don't get confirmation, you get a good move, you come down, you get a good move, you get confirmation, you break this, you actually at least have a decent MACD, your RSI is not too high. There's a lot of reason to believe things will be good. Maybe the low volume is probably the only thing bad, but yeah, this I would have expected to be 3 green days up, you know? Maybe it's just simply the fact that this 100 has been a very, 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 look how many varies I would say before we got to this. It's this 100 line is no joke. Right? We've actually never really made anything substantial. With this didn't close over it, opens over it, but clearly fails horribly. This is no joke of a line. Again, we get super close and then a nasty drop, whatever the reason was. I'm not here to talk about the reason, right? But I really think a lot of it was this. Let's go to the weekly. Ah, look at that bad boy. All right, I gotta believe I talked about this on the last video. That right there was also what it was. Because again, if I zoom out here, it's that same zoom out, probably to around the same point, right? But that 20 is no joke. That 100 is no joke. And that's what stopped this. Interesting. Nice. Okay, that explains it a little better. Again, super unfortunate. I'll be real honest. It looked way better on the daily than it came out to be, right? But look, where are we? We're back under the 8 and the 20. We definitely need confirmation though, right? We've lost the 8. I would guess I would call that confirmation. Yeah, but give me a good day, give me back in this, and hey, maybe we're still okay. Because look, this 20, it's holding. It's holding. I wouldn't necessarily, I guess that's like a little bit, there's definitely a little bit of a drop right there that I don't like. I wish that was a little more parallel, right? Like that definitely drops, yeah. But give me another good day and I think we can maybe pop it back up and still kind of believe that this 20 hasn't given up and might still want to go up. But one more time, this 100 and this 20 is going to be the big story. What's the number? 187. Man, this thing went 187 on a Hexo is what it did right there. That's my LA side right there if you don't understand that. But all right, interesting. Hexo, damn. I don't think there's too much more to say here. Yeah, if it can get over those 2 key lines, it'll be a different game. Otherwise, man, I'm not going to lie. I kind of think we're coming down to this 140, right? Because that's a fat green. We just lost that orange line, and it looks like it might be a fat red down to here. Hopefully we don't eat the whole thing and kind of keep this uptrend still going, but 50, do your job. I would love this to do its job, right? This is a tight cluster of two. This could do some good damage and make it bounce up. You know what I mean? Like this is also kind of oscillating along the line too. So maybe if it drops, hopefully we get another quick oscillation, like no lower than 150. There's a couple ways to see this maybe maintaining a horizontal, right, instead of dropping. But yeah, I'm hoping we don't go any lower than the 50 and we just kind of start the bounce again and try to take those. So a little longer on Hexo because I think there was a little bit more life on Hexo for sure. Interesting chart here. MSOS. Okay. Are you making another run? I don't know yet. I'm still not a believer. All right. We're going to talk about the good. And this is still the money line for sure. 726 is where I would enter. Let's come into a zoom in. Okay. How low are we on the RSI right here? 30s. All right. That's not bad. And it actually looks like it's relative. Oh, wow. We've gotten even lower. This made an important recovery right here. That's really cool. Okay. That's a nice RSI. I actually see the green over red on the MACD. We've had some nice volume the last couple days. Clearly today was a big candle. Did we get over? We are on the 20, so we didn't break the 20, but we're definitely a nice break of the 8, right? And look, this 50 has been a real big line to hold. You know what I mean? So, look, I think I'm still a little too skeptical given that we've now looked at what, 6 wheat stocks. This is the 7th one. This is the only one that actually looks okay, and ironically it's the ETF of all of them. Not all of them, but a majority of them, right? So I'm very curious. I'm not going to pretend I'm not, but I don't see myself setting any like alerts right here because honestly, I don't know if we're going to get over this, but I know if we get over this, that's a pretty place to trade, right? So just in case it went away, I'm going to go ahead and set my alert for 2727 really quickly. I always say it, an alert is not an immediate buy notification. It's definitely a, hey, come check out the charts, right? Like, what do the majors look like? What does this look like? What do the rest of the weed stocks look like? There's a bunch of things to take into consideration. But an alert it does its job, right? So yeah, I'd love to know when we break this. I don't think I'm too interested before. But yeah, there's definitely a reason to be if that's what you want to do, because that's a decent swing, right? I don't want to do the math in my head real quick and not do well. But again, for me, I'd rather ride it between here to hopefully here, or hey, between here to maybe a little bit more of that red, maybe up to here, right? So yeah, definitely interested though. I will be honest, this is well worth watching tomorrow. Maybe a little bit better of a day. What's tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's Friday, so the better day is going to be Monday. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see how MSOS goes. I'll be honest, I didn't expect to be bullish coming into here right now. Look, this is not a good weekly. We're actually under the 8 on the weekly, right? But again, no confirmation that we've actually lost it, right? We've been under it, so that was no question. We're still under it. We're actually over it, under it, still under it. Not great. But hey, maybe tomorrow will take us right back over it, right? Who knows? We'll see. And then if not, that might have me a little worried. What do we have to close at? 82. What does 82 look like? Oh, man. All right, interesting. Let's see what happens. Tomorrow's close should be pretty indicative of how Monday opens. I'll say that much. But surprisingly bullish one last time. And again, this is still the line I care about. Hey, if you disagree with anything, please throw it in the comments. Otherwise, you know I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.